Hi, my name is Amanda Herzog. I am the founder of Intertalents in Sweden, where we create online courses, webinars, ebooks, and other helpful material to help internationals integrate into the Swedish workforce.
Hi, my name is Sai Sorrells Weatherford, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Emigrate. We are a digital infrastructure that helps companies maintain legal compliance for their international employees, but our ultimate goal is to democratize the relocation experience and to give everyone the opportunity to work and live beyond borders. And today we're talking about the different ways you can come to Sweden, the different permit types based on your frequently asked questions.
Great. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the first question. So the first question we have is, what are the different types of visas to apply for to come to Sweden from another country?
So there's kind of the main different permits that you'd be able to come to Sweden on would be student permit, so higher education getting into university. Within the work scope, you have work permits, the self-employed permit, and then different talent permits, so a look to work or start a business permit. And then from a family perspective, you have a spousal permit as well.
Okay, so the next question is, what is the best way to gain legal residence in Sweden if someone doesn't have relevant higher education?
So the two best ways to do it is either apply for a work permit, which would be initiated by a company that hires you in Sweden, and you're not required to have a higher education for that position, although you would need to show that you have professional experience or some level of education that correlates with the job that you're getting. Or you can apply to a university in Sweden and come here on a student visa as well. So those are the two main opportunities you'd have to come here if you don't have a partner that you're moving to.
So essentially what you're saying is, if someone doesn't have higher education officially, they need to have some level of work experience that's needed in Sweden to circumvent and go around.
Yes, so if you are a developer and you don't have, let's say, a master's degree in software engineering or in development, then you should at least have some sort of certificate or work experience as well. But in general, then I'm assuming a company is hiring you because you're competent in an area, so that would balance itself out.
Okay. All right. Thanks for clarifying that. The next question we have is the new talent visa. How does it work?
So there's something we call the new talent or a look to work or start a business permit in Sweden, and that permit is valid from 3 to 9 months, however long they give you, and it's for people with higher education to come to Sweden and look for a job or to start a business here. So you need to have a master's degree or higher to apply for this permit. As well as show that you have financial stability, at least $1,000 to $1,500 a month for the number of months you're going to be here, comprehensive medical coverage for the time that you're here. But this gives you the opportunity to come to Sweden, find a job and get a job offer, and then you can stay in Sweden if the company that you get a job with actually extends your sponsorship with a work permit application. So it's a great way to come here and even see if you like living in Sweden before you decide to commit to the long term as well.
Yep, that's a good point. So the next question, the study visa. What are the specific requirements? So for example, how much money needs to be shown in the bank account? How long do they legally have to look for work after studies? What would you recommend?
So the study visa, one of the big requirements is that you do need to be financially independent for the duration of your permit and your studies in Sweden. So they calculate it's about $1,000 a month in terms of how much you would need to live in Sweden. So you should be able to showcase that you have $1,000 for every month you're going to be here. So if you're granted a 2-year residence permit, then you need to showcase that you have about $24,000 saved up in your accounts, or other ways that you can showcase whether you have another job elsewhere that is helping to provide for you. Your permit may end a month or two after your education is over. It may end on graduation day. There's kind of no guarantee of when that time period is. If you'd like to stay in Sweden and look for a job after you graduate, then you can apply for a look to work permit for after you graduate, which will give you 3 to 9 months to find a job here, which can then be extended by a work permit application. So you're not granted, just 6 months added on to your education so that you have time. You need to apply for a permit in order to get more time to apply and look for that job as well. So financial independence, and then make sure you have either a job lined up for graduation, or make sure to apply for that look to work for a job permit before you graduate as well.
Okay, so the next question, what are the requirements if someone wants to bring their family to Sweden with them? And by family, we get questions like spouse, children, mother, father, brothers, cousins. How does that work?
That's a really good question, especially because in kind of each culture, each community, what counts as your core family is very different. In Sweden, if you come to Sweden on a work permit or a study permit, then you can also apply for your direct family members to come with you. And by direct family members, it's your spouse and or your children that are under 18 years old. So unfortunately in Sweden, parents and siblings don't qualify as being able to be added on to your application. They would have to be independent and have a separate reason to come to Sweden, but you are able to bring your partner and your children. One thing that's important is then the amount that you should have financially will increase, because they have something called a maintenance requirements, which is you need to have X amount, depending on how many family members you have, to be able to provide for everybody. And additionally, you need to be able to show that you have adequate size housing. So if you come with a partner and 2 children, you need to have minimum 2 bedrooms in your apartment. We do have a blog post about this and what a maintenance requirement is. So you can see more of that on our website, emigrate.io as well. We know that this is a lot of information. There's a lot of different types of permits. There's a lot of different ways that you can come to Sweden. You can learn all about these different permit types at emigrate.io. We do have a great blog that talks about these sort of resources, processes, as well as keeps people up to date on changes in Swedish legislation regarding immigration. If you have any questions, you can also feel free to chat with us on our chatbot. At emigrate.io. We're always looking for our most frequently asked questions so that we can create the best resources for you. If you're looking for learning more about all of this information from a personal perspective, I also write about it on my own site, so you can also follow me on LinkedIn, Saya Sorrells Weatherford, and I do get into these topics.
Great.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.